What's up, brothers and sisters? It's your brother G World 7_D. And today's video, I'm going to talk about the image of the black male on television. Um, for the longest of times, during my lifetime, I can remember when the Cosby Show was on in Miami Vice. And then, at that time, NBC went from like number three because there were three networks until January '87 when Fox came around. It was the three networks: CBS, NBC, and ABC. You always had, you had your little super stations, and you had shows that were on independent stations. They were independent shows, syndicated shows, and but it was the three networks. CBS ruled the networks throughout the 60s and early 70s. ABC took over from the mid 70s to the mid 80s, and then NBC took over. But when the Cosby Show came on, that was a groundbreaking, record breaker show. It helped put NBC over the top. Now, that wasn't the first show, because NBC was starting to build its way up with shows like Hill Street Blues. Then they brought on Night Court, Family Ties, and Cheers. But when Cosby Show came on that Thursday night lineup, it really took it over the top. Cosby was at 7, Family Ties was at 7:30, Cheers was at 8, and 8:30 was Night Court, Central Time. And the Miami Vice came on Friday nights. But those are the two shows I thought that put NBC over the top, and they had positive images of black men, you know, and it was during that time that The Color Purple came out, and that had a very negative image of black men. And I can remember when the NAACP protested or complained about the movie, how it was giving a negative image about black men. But then when the award season came along, I believe it was nominated for 13, 11 or 13, something like that, and they didn't win anything. And then the NAACP complained about the movie not getting no award, but the the um, the movie The Color Purple really gave a very negative image of black men. And it was around that time when that stuff just really starting to show, it was giving certain black women were given a platform to denigrate black men. Now, I only date black women. Only women that I love are black women now. And I only plan to date black women because I want to reproduce a child that looks like me. Okay. Not I'm not going to take part in helping to bleach out my race because I know the history of what has been done to bleach us out. But but I had noticed starting with The Color Purple, and it was before that, but really it started to rev up with The Color Purple. And then you had these shows where there are no good black men. I can't find no good black man. And you used to have this circuit of the same black women who appeared on Oprah Winfrey, Sally Jessy Raphael, Ricky Lake, Geraldo, and there was a couple others trashing black men. The only one who didn't do that was Rolanda. I give the sister credit for that. Because her show, she said it before, her show probably didn't last because she refused to go that route. But I noticed that I can remember them shows all through the 90s. It was these basic black women on there bashing. I mean, really bashing, dogging out black men. And I'm sitting there saying, what the hell is this? Then I felt a different world was doing that a little bit too. And so like little tax and little bashing of black men in some of their episodes. Because they made a big deal with the Shahrazad Ali, the black man's guide to understand the black woman book. I mean, they really went hard at her. I remember on that show. And I can remember when I watched was it the the Oprah Winfrey show? This is back in the early '90s, where that she had Terry McMillan on her show, and Terry McMillan, who seemed like probably had picked the wrong man in her life, but she was kind of like going hard into certain brothers. And when she was promoting her book, I think it was Waiting to Excel. I call it Waiting to Derail the Black Man. But yeah, it was a brother that got up there and asked the question, said, you seem like you blamed all black men. I'm paraphrasing this question. You seem like you blame the black men, you dogging black men. What's the problem? This is wrong. We got like a negative image. And Michael Eric Dyson said something real quick. Well, black men are like that. And the crowd got real quiet. He started looking all strange. I was like, this Negro actually said that? Yeah, I never forget that, man. And that's why ever since then I can stand that dude. Because I remember he was trying to go after the Nation of Islam back in the day. I never forget that. And I remember a few people attended his speaking engagements that he used to have. And he used to ignore the black man when he used to have their hands raised. He was going to ask them, man, why you was going after Elijah Muhammad, because he was doing that for a while. I think that was shut down. I remember him doing that. I never liked that guy, man. When he was doing that at that time, I couldn't stand him for doing that, man. But Dyson was like giving these women cover from just attacking black men. See, in my opinion, is that yeah, there's some brothers who done some things wrong, but I felt that a lot of these black women don't take responsibility in the poor choices that they made with men. And it goes for brothers too. All right. But a lot of these black women, they, instead of owning up, with their poor choices, they want to attack all black men and make black men to seem like to be the total problem what goes on in the community, man. Listen, I've seen good brothers passed up by a lot of sisters because he didn't have a particular swag. He didn't act this way. He wasn't a thug. They'll pass up a good brother actually make good money, or who's potentially could make the good money, but they'll pass him up, man, for a certain type of black man. Worried about what type of clothes that he'll wear, what type of car he was driving. It was very materialistic. And I felt that was very insulting. But then when they get in a bad relationship with these Pookie and Ray Ray or Junebug, then they will get mad and blame the black man as the black man's fault. And that's totally wrong, man. You see, I felt that a lot of these women, not all, had this mindset. It's the only thing they need to bring to the table in a relationship is what's between their legs. When you get in a relationship, you need to bring something. If I'm working and I'm bringing in a certain amount of money, then you should be doing the same thing. It's a partnership. It's not the man is going to do everything, and I think some women, not all, but some women had this attitude is that the man's supposed to do everything. And that's a big problem, but that's what I was feeling because I used to listen to various talk shows. I can remember Devin Norville had a talk show on 890 AM WLS in Chicago. Many of us call it the world's lousiest station, but it was a talk station. You had several black women brag about married to their white man, and then talk about all black men do is think between their legs, and when they say stuff like that, they only down themselves, and then sometimes you had a few white guys who would call in who were married to black women, and it was extremely racist, man. I mean, the stuff that they were common calling young black boys thugs and stuff. So I'm like saying, why do these black women even get with these white men? And same, like I said, same thing with certain brothers with white women, but I'm just making this observation right here, and I have noticed that because I had family members who, male and female, who decided to jump the fence, and I'm telling you that that white person they marry is racist as hell. I've experienced it from them, man. So, and I realized that, if most of these black people who do that, man, just really, they can't be speaking up or talking about racism a lot, man, because they either downplaying or totally ignoring it, man. Because some of the racist stuff I used to hear from these white individuals, man, it just really turned me off. That's why I want nothing to do with them, man. And this is to the point is that when we insult ourselves and down ourselves and build up a people who have oppressed us, who does not deserve any love from us, but yet we continue to uphold them, man, that makes us look bad as a people, man. But I had noticed how many of these sisters, they used to come on TV and used to bash black men. You know, the way they talk is like you by getting a white man, you taking a step up the ladder. And to me, and trust me, I had a few of my family members who married white, and them white people lazy and no good, man. They didn't work. They were lazy. They didn't try to work, and it was very racist, making racist jokes, man. So I know from firsthand experience, man, that going white doesn't necessarily mean it's right. You know, so I think it's wrong. Yeah, I really think black folks need to stop displaying so much self-hate amongst themselves. And this is black people globally, but my first love or first direct messages to brothers and sisters here in America. But this goes for black people globally. You gotta stop worshiping white folks, man. You to many black people, white folks are looked upon as this great savior, man, as this godlike figure. That the image of white or being near white or being close to whiteness is like is gonna give you a ticket to heaven. Whatever. I'm serious, man. It's a mindset that was amongst many of our people that we continue to worship a group of people who really don't care for us. And I'm going back to like many of our women who denigrated black men. Listen, the black man needs the black woman, and the black woman needs the black man, because there'll be no black woman without the black man. There'll be no black man without the black woman. We need to understand that. Now, some of you Negroes can go to hell. I mean, really is. I think some of these black folks need to be forced out of our community. We need to purge them out and get rid of them because they've caused too much harm, and they continue to divide the community with things that they say. Because I go back, a lot of stuff I heard throughout the 90s, the bashing of black men. And, you know, some of these rappers were bashing black women. But the bashing of black men, I'm starting to hear that again with some of our women helping out or yesing with white supremacists, racist white people, and racist white feminists, teaming up with them to attack their own damn man out of, because I guess they have pain and hurt. Well, one, it could be daddy issues. Another issue is that many, I guess, black men didn't choose them, passed them up, so they're mad and bitter. You know, like I said before, you control your own destiny, but you cannot. Some of these black women need to take responsibilities for their poor choices too, in men, and like I said, brothers too. But this is directed to many black women. You need to make better choices with men. There are good black men out here, but I think that lots of times where you pick your mate, it has not been good. You know, so because I'm bringing this up because I've been hearing so much crap from killers and stuff like that about Nas. Let's don't defend black no more. But then, if I'm correct, she has a black son with Nas, And I feel sorry for the son because for her to make this statement about black men, she has a little black boy and she needs to raise him up to be a man, and she's with a white man, but she says that with about black men. So I don't get it, man. I don't. It's to me that makes no sense. If you have a problem with that particular individual, that's one thing, but you have a black son, So when I hear stuff like this, man, it's sickening. When you hear something like I said, some of these female YouTubers, the self-hate that I hear in some of these women, man, it just makes my stomach turn. And brothers, like I said, brothers too, but I'm talking about black women in this, that self-hate that some of you have, man. It's sad. Like I said before, it may be daddy issues with some. Also, we do have colorism issues, but then I think there's people who just colorist crybabies. You will talk about colorism, but then you willing to lay it with a white man to create a child that looks like is going to grow up to look like someone that you have issues with because society will favor them over you, but you're willing to spread that or create something that will cause hell in the future generations, man. That just doesn't make any sense to me. There's a lot of things black folks on what they do doesn't make any sense to me, man. And I want to tell sisters this, man. You're not going to win no black men over by trashing them in the media that is controlled by our enemy. They're using you so they can go after black men to clear a path for their little sorry ass. But in the long run, they're going to go after you to get rid of you. So it's just that you can't allow yourself to be used to trash your own man. That's sick. And to me, that's traitorous, man. That's signs of a traitor. And you can't do that. We need to find a way to talk about our differences, to work them out, and to build a better future, man. Because it's not going to get better when you argue amongst your own. You uphold people who really don't like you, man. I'm telling you, I have studied these white folks. All right, they really can't stand us, man. I'm serious. No matter you get the nicest one, I'm telling you, most of these white folks can't stand us. They hate our guts. They hate the fact is that we have beautiful skin that's able to just reflect, to soak in the rays of the sun. We have that beautiful dark skin. We have great thick woolly hair, or wavy to straight hair. Our hair is beautiful. Our bodies are built beautiful. People envy us. And I say they envy us because they're willing to spend billions of dollars collectively to have our bodies, to have our look. But yet we will go out our way and try to bleach our skin to look like them, when, that's unhealthy, man. Pale skin to me, real pale skin is unhealthy looking. Dark skin looks healthy. It looks beautiful. It looks strong. It looks powerful. And for us to want to bleach our skin, to change the color of our eyes so we can be more accepted by another society is sick. And I see that with many of our women, man. Not all, but many of our women are like that, man. And I'm saying this to certain black women, man. Y'all gotta stop that, man. Y'all gotta, first of all, you gotta love what you see in the mirror first and foremost. Because if you love yourself in the mirror, man, if you really love what you see in the mirror that's looking back at you, you would not hate that. You would not say negative things about the opposite sex, because it took the opposite sex along with your mother to create you, a black person. So we got to get out of that self-hate, man. It's just too much what I'm hearing. And there's some people who, where you'll criticize a black man for a white woman, which you should, but then you make excuses for a black woman, which is wrong. It's both of them is wrong. Neither one of them should be going outside the race and helping to dilute and mix out the race. Neither side should do that. So you can't be hypocritical. So don't sit there and cheerlead that Kobe Bryant died, or saying it's not your fight. But in the same instance, you cheerlead Serena Williams, who said recently that when she was pregnant, she didn't like the smell of her husband. Well, look who you done married. It's okay. Look who you done married. And then Meghan Markle, many sisters cheered her on. And yet, now she done end up have to leave the royal palace. And they maybe move to Canada. I'm not sure where they're going to, but maybe have to move to Canada. And so sad. And she's a mixed black chick who really doesn't identify herself as black. But so many black women were living vicariously through her, cheerleading her, marrying that racist clown who wore blackface or wore a Nazi patch at a Halloween party. So that's not funny. That's ignorant. But it just shows you how desperate and self-hating many of our people are, especially some of our sisters, man. They need to hear this, man. Yeah, you have self-hating brothers who have colorism issues, but a lot of sisters need to hear this, man. They really need to hear this. They need to be honest with themselves and stop hating on themselves and stop trying to impress and allow themselves being used by white people. Like I said, this is not all, but this is too many who are using white people talking points. And they're showing their self-hatred. Run around with long blonde wigs and all this other crazy ass stuff, man. That's you look better as natural who you are. If you're not ready to wear your hair natural, that's fine. But just don't go around wearing no long blonde wigs or long green wigs. I've seen the most craziest things from some sisters now. It just make your head spin. And it's sad, man. Because I really do feel that many of our women have a deep-seated self-hatred and low self-esteem in themselves. And yes, it is up to us, some of the brothers, to build up their self-esteem. Sister wearing braids, she looking nice, her braids look nice, so she wearing her hair natural, compliment them. Let them know that. Let them know that they look nice, they look special. We need to build them up. They need to build us up. We need to build each other. We need to be together. But we're not going to get anywhere if we're too busy yapping and fighting amongst ourselves. But I want black women to understand, man, most black men love and marry and prefer to be with a black woman. It's not even an option with me. It's mandatory. I know that the woman I'm going to reproduce with is going to reproduce something that looks like me, my skin tone, my hair texture. It's not going to be watered down. It's going to be black. So I just don't understand, though, that black folks don't see this, man. You too busy building up and worshiping white people. You filling their egos, man. You building up their egos, you blowing their heads up, and it's not worth it. But, and this is what I said is frustrated with black women. Some black women cheerleading over these Miss America pageant selecting black women. Who cares what these white folks think? Who cares about their standard of beauty? Stop worrying about what they think. of you. Who cares, man? Their opinion means nothing, should mean nothing to us. And to a lot of sisters, start, don't start doing a better job of picking brothers who you date. And then many times when you make the mistake or when a relationship doesn't work, don't always just sit there and say, you know what, black man no good. Look at yourself. Look at how you pick men. Look at what you see, what you call the qualities that you see in the man. Maybe you just need to reevaluate that. Instead of bashing black men and putting all the blame on black men, you need to take some responsibility of your own. That's what bothers me about some women. They don't want to take responsibility for nothing. They want to put all the blame on the black man. When things go good, they want to take credit. When things go bad, blame it on the black man. No. It goes both ways. When things go good, yeah, you can take credit. When things go bad, you need to own up. But some of my sisters don't want to do that. I've been to stores, man, where some of these sisters would be nice and friendly, smile from a white person, get nasty with me. To me, that's unprofessional, but I have experienced that. I have experienced that at numerous stores. And then some of these sisters are surprised. I pull out my debit card, my credit card to pay my stuff. You know what I'm saying? Some of them are surprised that a black man can do that. I kid you not. So I expect that from other people. But my own man shouldn't do that. So this is not a bash of black women. It's just trying to say many sisters need to do better. You need to do better. There's some sisters who know this already, and they all good. But there's a lot of sisters who need to do better. You only showing the self-hate for yourself when you brag about dating someone outside your race, and then you want to encourage others, I guess, to validate what you're doing. When you know what you're doing is unnatural. Natural is that people be with their own kind. It's unnatural when you decide to jump the fence and then brag about it. To me, that's just sick. And I'm hearing that. And I've heard that over several YouTubers who when you listen to them, you can tell they have a self-hatred towards themselves, and they hate black men. And you got one of them who's not even a black American, misleading black American women, I guess because she's a darker hue. They look at her, they feel that they can relate to her, but she's giving them misinformation. See, I don't feel that, man. I really don't feel that. So I want brothers and sisters globally, but particularly here in America, get it together, promote black love, because black love produces us, produces the hair that we have, our beautiful lips, our beautiful noses, our beautiful shapes. That comes from blackness, not outside of that. So we're going to have to understand that, and love who we are, man. Stop allowing other people to get in your head, and stop allowing yourself to be used, just to pile in or stack up on their numbers, which they used and they turn around and use against us, man. We got to stop doing that. You got to just start looking inside of ourselves. So I'm pleading this to certain black women to ignore some of the ignorant sisters that you see here on YouTube, because most sisters on YouTube are pretty cool, but there is a segment of ignorant black women. Some of them American born, some of them foreign born, or some of them come from foreign born parents, but they were born here, are very ignorant on YouTube and some of the things that they're saying about black men. You can tell by listening to them, they have a deep-seated self-hatred of themselves, because if they're willing to trash their own men technically they really don't like themselves because they don't want to reproduce themselves. These are some self-hating individuals, and I'm telling sisters, do not listen to them, do not follow them, because you're better than them. And those women have some serious issues, and mental issues are a big deal in America, particularly. I hate to say it's running large in the black community. Lots of it has to do with the racism that we experience in the society. Also, lots of it may have to do with our upbringing coming up, the traumatic effects that we might have had coming up. But there's some serious mental issues, and you hear it with some of these people doing YouTube, male or female. But particularly, I'm talking about women in this issue. There's a lot of self-hate, mental issues coming from some of our women. It needs to be said, man. And I'm saying this out of love, not out of hate, but there's a lot of mental issues with certain individuals. I'm not going to bring up their names. Some people should know who I'm talking about, where they say stuff that just totally contradicts themselves. And basically they say stuff out of self-hate, deep self-hate for themselves. And then they want people to follow them and listen to them. And unfortunately, some of them have large followers, so they're misleading young black girls. They leading them right, right to the damn gas chamber. It used to be a talk show hosted here in Chicago. You said that. It used to say things like, the black community gonna boogie themselves to the gas chambers because we're so ignorant of who we are. We do not know who we are. We do not seem to care or want to learn more about who we are. We just want to sit up there and dance and boogie and smile and grin and please white folks who hate our black ass. We gotta stop doing that. We are in a state of emergency right now. And this is for, like I said, black people globally, but I focus on black people in America. We are in a state of emergency. You travel around the world, it's a big deal with single parent household amongst black people around the world. So we're just not here in the United States. We are catching hell. We're not liked around the world. But yet, we try so hard to try to please people who hate our guts. To me, right there, that's a mental issue. Because to me, you're mentally disturbed or something mentally wrong with you trying to please people who hate your ass from jump, who despise you, who can't stand you, but you're still trying to please them. To me, there's something mentally wrong with you right there. The black community need to understand that we have no friends. The only friends that we have, only people that we can trust are ourselves. And many of the people amongst us we can't trust. That's why we need to throw some of these niggas out of here. We need to throw some of these sorry ass black people out who are not in our best interest. They gotta go. No more. They gonna have to go. Until we wake up and realize that all we have are ourselves, hey man. But see, we in a mode that we worship white people as the great white daddy or white woman, the great white mommy. We got to stop that. We got to really learn that all we have are ourselves. All we have are ourselves, man. So I want, hopefully in 2020 now, February, Black History Month. Well, Black History is every month to me. But Black History Month is black people continue to work on, each individual needs to work on themselves. And then we also need to work on our relationship with the opposite sex, black men and black women. Because we should not be arguing with each other. And white folks just laugh and write them, and the white feminists just using black women, and then these white men are just using black men. We can't continue to do this, man. Because this is what we're in a path of total self-annihilation, self-destruction. We can't do this. we're now in 2020, and it seems like this black woman, black man, black woman versus black man nonsense. White people trying to, especially white families, are trying to rev that up, man. They don't. They don't care about you, black women. They use you for numbers. The feminist movement, the modern day feminist movement, was Gloria Steinem, is totally backed by the CIA, and yet, in the CIA, who the one talk show host in Chicago used to call the Cocaine Import Agency. A lot of dope and filter in throughout the communities, and the CIA seem not to have stopped it. In the black community, particularly in the 80s, man, when that crack cocaine stuff was really big, and that dope was coming from different countries and hitting some black communities, man. Brothers and sisters walking around like zombies in the 80s, man. So, no. You're going to have to, black people, let white folks go. Let them go. Look them in the face, wave bye-bye, and go the other way. Let them go. You're going to have to let them go. We need to build amongst family. Now, if you don't want to do that, then get your ass out the community, man. You cause a rift. You cause a divide. Only people who really care about the black community and the future of the black race stay within the black community. You others, get the hell up out of there. Go with mommy and daddy. But leave the rest of us alone. I'm serious, man. So, to black women, love yourself first and foremost. Love yourself as a black woman. All right? Don't sit there and say, well, I just love myself as a woman. No, love yourself as a black woman first and foremost. Do not allow people outside your community define what is beauty for you. You define what's beauty, what you see in the mirror. What you see in the mirror, that's the type of beauty you should be worried about, not with someone who physically looks totally different from you, and in a society where they're held up to a goddess type standard, which they don't deserve that level of standard because they have caused so much hell and mayhem within society. So, black woman, love yourself first. Don't allow yourself to be used by the media to trash your man. Do not allow outsiders to influence you to want to trash your man. Do not allow traitors within the community. And that's another thing. Stop worshiping these celebrities. Yes, they have money. But just because they have money, I don't mean they've done good. Some of their money is really blood money. Some of the money is at the expense of the misery of our community. So holding up individuals like Oprah Winfrey and Gayle King is sad because they have not done anything for the black community, but try to portray a negative image of the black community, and then particularly of black men. I live in Chicago, man. I know. I live in the far south side of Chicago. Oprah Winfrey has done nothing for the black community here. Most black people tell you that she's trash. You looked at the audience of her show, it was nothing but white women. And that was a woman who said who wished she was white. So she's not a type of person that you need to admire, man. Throw her out with the garbage in 2020, please, and move ahead. I want black women to win, but you're not going to win thinking that you're going to get a bottom shelf Brad or a white man or any other man besides a black man. Because in the long run, not only you lose, the race lose. And like I said, I feel the same way with black men too. And naturally, women outnumber men. I'll make that clear. Also, women on college campuses outnumber men. That includes white women outnumbering white men on college campuses. See, society never talks about that. But we're going to have to just start loving ourselves. All right. And to black women, start loving yourself. Peace and love. Bye.